Buenos noches, dudes. I'm going drifting tomorrow, Sunday, full lock in Tulsa. And this is just a quick little series of what you would do to get a car that you have unknown. You saw me go out and drive it, only fixing the clutch. I didn't do an alignment and I spun out a bunch and still got, it was good, but I spun out, and then we also had an active handling issue. So I came back here. I used our gyro line. It allows me to take a snapshot of what the car is sitting at as far as alignment, front and rear, send it to Alex. It also allows us to do thrust direction in the field, which is amazing. So if something were to happen, we hit a corner, we're able to find that back there. Now, obviously not as well as taking it to his shop in Vegas. I also watched a couple YouTube videos and found out that there is one more connection underneath this that was allowing there to still be some active handling. Even though we thought we've turned it off everywhere, there's one you can't turn off, and it's the steering wheel position, and it cuts power to the motor. And that was making me have to do a bunch of things to drive around. So I quickly came in here and I was like, you know what? I want to do this too since I'm here. I've done this before, so it's easy to do it the second time, but I eyeballed these and I wanted to kind of give you a quick tip. But what you do is you would just grab some 3-inch strap, you'd grab some cardboard, you'd cut it in the same shape, and you would see that there's an angle in the way. But we want to have this harness bar as far away from the seat area, because the back of the seat's here. If the bar was right here, it'd be really hard to get your harness tied up and everything so that you have the correct adjustments. So I wanted to move it back. So to start that out, I got the 3-inch instead of just using 2-inch. And then I offset it as far back as possible. But in doing so, I had to cut this angle. So I quickly cut the angle. And then I looked here from the profile and I could see, okay, we were going flat up, about this far, just a little over 5 inches. So I marked the line and then we cut the back of it, scored it a little bit because my vise isn't big enough to do this piece. So we scored the back of it, which allows just a little tiny bit, a 1/16 of an inch, allows it to control the bend, and then we'll weld that back up. Then I came in here and I could see it needed to turn a little bit. So this isn't perfectly 90 degrees, it turns in just a little bit there. So I knew I was gonna have to turn it at an angle. So again, 1/16 inch cut right there, gave it a little bend, and that made this face flush with this bolting area, as well as this face still there. The next part was getting these holes in the correct spot. I held the plate where I wanted it and I drew a line across there. Then I backed the plate up, saw where the center of the bolt was, marked a line, was able to see that, hold it in the orientation that I wanted it, and then just drew a line across that. X marks the spot where you drill a hole. I got the first one in, then I came back here, there was no hole, did the same thing up here. You can see there's the lines, cross, drill. I didn't get it exactly where I wanted, so I had to wallow out the holes. Once I did this one, I just mirrored it because I knew it's gonna be the same shape over there. When we were doing Russ's car, I made a mistake bend. So I took this bar, measured in between those two distances, that face there and that face there, which was 54 inches, came over here to the table and we marked 54 inches. I marked it to where I would have a 90 in comparison to this flush there, and as you can see, here's the misbend from Russ's cage. It was off just the slightest bit, made it unusable there, but I don't need that precision for this. I'll just split the distance of that so that this bar still stays level. I made a 90, then I took it over to my bandsaw, way over on the other side of the Viper there, cut these things freehand, cut them a 1/4 inch bigger than I was supposed to have it on purpose, took it over there to confirm the distance. It wouldn't fit in, which means it needed to come down, triple check the measurements, and then went over to the bandsaw, made the final cut. We just need to grind a little bit off of the backside here, and it fits. I'm just so darn good at this that I needed to share it with somebody. So you gotta kind of sneak it in, and then I get it into this space. So this is where I need to grind the back end there, and the back end there, which allows me to bring it up to this position here and this position here, which will bring it just a 10-degree up from my shoulder when I'm sitting in this seat like I'm supposed to be. So that way I never get crunched down. I always just get held back if I were to get in an accident. Now it comes time, we are just going to get these off of here weld the back side, weld the front side, bring it back in here, bolt it in. So I just got done with that and I was moving over into this. I'm now working on the seating position. I really like to be snug in my seat. Quick way of achieving what I will eventually completely redo, which is just make my custom Corvette bracket. And it allows me to get the bottom of the seat all the way to the bottom of the floorboard of the car, which I'm gonna try to emulate right now when I do all of these things. So first thing, what I'm gonna do is cut a tab that we're gonna weld onto this edge, which will bring this hole about right there. And that'll bring this front of this up the same distance, which will be about an inch, inch and an eighth, which will put the rake that I need in here. Then what we're gonna do is we have some holes drilled here. We're gonna move this back the same, I think it's about an inch and a quarter on this hole. And then we're gonna do the same thing by moving. They have slots in here. We'll just move to that slot, which is that final hole that you guys can see right here. You can see. So we'll still be on here. It'll be scooted back and raked. And that should allow me to fit in my car with my helmet on and have my harness in. I actually decided that I wanted to make new tabs, so I made 4-inch tabs instead of the 1.5-inch long tabs that I was going to weld to the top of there. Just wanted to go ahead and weld it like that if I were to do it. But that also allowed me to play with the rake. Right now, as I sit in here, I just got my helmet out. The leg angle position is great. It's a little bit kicked off to the side because of this here, which I think I might be able to shift the bolts that bolt this bracket over this way more. But right now, my belly button is right in line with the steering wheel. So I like that. With my helmet on and these bolted down, these things right here, I mean, we're tight, we're hitting. I moved it forward. It's a little better, but not free yet. But I have to call it if I want to get this all done. So in a Corvette, that's just the way it is. There's only so much space in here, and I'm this size. Getting ready to leave. It's late as usual, but I did get a harness bar in, and I was able to actually finally get the harness out of Tiffany. All right, dudes, we're pulling in to Tulsa. I got a coffee. I'm not nearly as energized as I wish I was. It's been forever. I just need to go burn some tires, change some tires, burn some tires until I learn how to drift. I got a wristband. We're here, but I just realized my first mistake, which was I didn't load the ramps. But luckily, I think we're gonna be okay with the angle of the trailer. One tire, baby. One tire. Everybody running to take pictures of this while actual drifting's happening. We got the car unloaded, easy peasy. The angle of the dangle was perfect, so I didn't need the jacks, and that's because the airbags are still inflated. So I'm gonna get some tires changed, probably burn these off first, and then we'll work our way down. I brought these just in case. They're 235s, and since there's a 235 class, I just wanna see what this feels like. Other than that, we're running scrubs left over from FD from 2024. So they're pretty old. So it's gonna be icy. We'll see what's up. So I'm following one guy. They all know where and what to expect. I'm like, oh shit. And then my car is way faster than his car. So I'm trying to get things figured out. All of a sudden now everybody's right behind me. And I have still no idea where it is, and now I realize the line is way further out than where the other guy who was in front of me was going. That was hilarious, but no, it's fun, like going, one of my favorite things ever is going onto an unknown track, unknown car, like all that kind of unknown stuff, just having to react right away. And it probably looks horrible from the outside, but it's so fun to me on the inside, because literally I hadn't even seen anything. And so I can see the cones, and I can see some clipping points, but I can't see that there's a whole line going out this way and then back around that way, because nobody was doing that in front of me yet. And then all of a sudden it happens, so I'm in front of everybody, I'm like, fuck it, wah, trying to go, and then all of a sudden I realized I was in the wrong part of the track where I thought I was at. Oh. Yeah. That was total chaos. And it probably looks horrible from the outside, but it's so fun to me on the inside. Fuck yeah, though, that was so good. I came in really, really hot, but I wanted to hold a wide arc, but if I would have kept on throttle, it would have brought me around too much. So what I ended up doing is I just pedaled the clutch a little bit, and that brought the wheel speed down to catch up to the ground, so I had a little bit more grip, and then I was able to lean back into it, and I did it actually relatively smoothly for myself. So I was cool on working on that, and then just getting the flick entry and knowing how far it's going to drive out to. On a couple of those runs, I did end up pulling my handbrake in between just to draw out a little bit further, because I was wanting to see how that felt, because there's kind of a downward off-camber turn coming around the entry there. I was dancing. It feels so good to finally just, in my own car, open track to myself, so I don't have to even worry about anything else or impeding someone else, which that's usually what I worry about. And this is just open. I got Stookie actually as the guy flagging me through and giving me encouragements when I come back through. So awesome. Feels so good to be driving. We're going to swap some tires and get out there, and then we're going to let Daniel drive too, because it's wide open, safe, and drifting is for fun. And even though I normally don't like driving other people's cars, I like when other people drive my car. It's weird. So
what do you mean by that?
saw that, and we're actually gonna let Daniel, our cameraman, drive. Song for you.
Oh man, I'm not wearing my hat. My hair's all crazy right now.
Oh man, look at this guy's crazy hair. I'm excited. This guy's going out, ripping. He's a freaking trooper. Way less nervous than I was.
You have fun?
Yeah, that's Daniel out there. Bro, you freaking linked that one. That's great. So you were just feeling it out, you know, doing whatever. Yeah. It's so good. So you have so much control with your throttle than you're used to, right? As far as where you're going to be angling out and stuff because of the torque.
It feels a lot looser than I was expecting.
See, that's what I was saying. So the coilovers, they definitely need to have something done. If not, just switched over to feels. But, you know, they came with the car. But dude, you're killing it. It's so good. You liking it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, go rip it. Let me just check really quick. Yeah, well, we got plenty of time. Yeah. So, what are you saying you don't know about?
It's a lot loose. It's really loose.
And it likes you to stay committed too. So if you don't gradual your thing, that's where you're getting that extra little bit whatever, but it's completely right. Like that's why I was saying the coilovers are not doing anything they're supposed to be doing. But what I saw happen was you're feeling out right, you got it going, and then you're like, okay, I got it figured out, right?
I'm spinning out a lot.
No, that's fine. You're feeling it out. You're doing great. I think you're doing really good. And this is your first time in a Corvette, right?
Yeah.
All right, dude. So I was just saying bye to Daniel Stuckey, and thank you for such an amazing event. And it was perfect. You see the rain right here? I was gonna go one last, and it was super wet. And right as I got here by that light, my windshield wipers weren't working, and the whole windshield just flashed over. I couldn't see anything, and I was right next to those cones, supposed to be flicking into here, right over there. To be going over there, I was like, abort, just slid all the way into that direction. But obviously I need to get my coilover sorted. The driving seat position was amazing. I do want my handbrake back a little bit, or I might put myself forward a little bit, but the legs, everything was just perfect. Whew, so glad I made it, did the work. Having my harness, it's night and day difference. It really makes a huge difference because I'm settled in the seat, and so I don't have to worry about holding myself in. Just I'm in. I finally got myself out here and I did it, and I love the feeling and I can't wait to do it again. We'll see you guys on the next one.